What's up, you guys? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
Hello.
Producer Josh.
Good morning.
And Ryan from Miami.
You're going to want to see the video content of this right now.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Hi.
Also, we get a lot to dig into.
Hi.
The poll winner. Go ahead. Even though you did not phrase it at all the way that you phrased the actual point.
Instant replay check for the record.
I double checked with you in the podcast last week. You said when it comes to fall, it's Team Apple versus Team Pumpkin, which is what I wrote. Team Apple won.
First of all, that is complete BS for the record.
No, it's not.
Apple
Again,
won.
even people,
No.
like I had so many people messaging me going, yes, it's Team Apple all the
No,
way.
it's not.
In reality, people aren't a huge fan of pumpkin besides carving them. And the basic white
Whoa,
people.
whoa, wait a minute.
whoa.
First of all, pumpkin pie is fantastic. How dare you say that, number one?
I can only take one bite of pumpkin pie and that's it.
Well, then you're weird.
After that, it's too much for me. Apple pie is way better.
Can we actually do our pumpkin carving competition this year, too? Because
we
we're
haven't
supposed
done
to do
it.
that.
We have
2
been
years in a row.
supposed to do this so many times.
And the rules were freehand, right? You cannot
Yeah.
stencil
You
it, so it
can't
has to be
stencil.
freehand. Okay. And didn't it have to be a sports logo or something like that? Wasn't that what we were going
No,
with?
it
No,
was-
it could be anything.
No, it can be
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay. All right. We're doing that this year, for sure.
All right. We're doing it.
We're doing it no matter what. So if only one person shows up with a pumpkin, they win.
They win.
They win
I actually
automatically.
carved a pumpkin the last 2 years for this, and no one else.
Well, I've carved pumpkins the last 2 years.
But
as
we're-
well.
we're doing- I know.
We
I
have to
did
do
too.
it
I did
with
too.
all of us.
All of us.
As a challenge.
for the podcast.
I like it. Pumpkin.
I'm not sure anyone likes pumpkin. You might like cinnamon though.
yeah.
I think that's.
I hate cinnamon.
I like pumpkin seeds.
Oh, good God. Anyway, okay. Apple won. You guys win. Whatever.
whatever. Moving on.
Whatever. Moving on. It is fall. It's finally cold enough for me to wear a hoodie.
I'm living my best life right
I'm
now.
so happy.
I didn't get
right
a warning for this, by the way. I blame all of you because I'm the Floridian here who's never been, living in cold before. And I woke up this morning, I walked outside and it was 54 degrees out. And I'm like,
Yeah,
where did
that's-
this come from? What
by
happened?
the way, it gets much colder than that here.
It might get hot again, too.
Everyone from the north right now is listening to this podcast going, what the hell are y'all worried about 54?
54. You mean summer?
By the way, Bear and I are both in like summer garb and you two are in sweaters here.
Look,
as we're doing
I'm
this, too.
finally able to put that part of my
Wardrobe
to work. Like, trust me, I am excited. I'm rocking this fantastic Dallas Cowboys hoodie that is very, very soft.
Did you get your Cooper Rush jersey? Is that on the way? Oh.
No, I've got my Micah Parsons
All right,
jersey.
just wondering.
Ryan, in fairness, we did warn you about this. We literally talked about there will be false fall, and then there will be.
Yeah, but I thought we were still in false fall.
No, then
No.
There would be second summer, which was patio weather. We talked about this, where there would be that 1 week where everyone goes, which was last week, where everyone goes to the patios and really loves the summer again, and then real
And then
fall
it's
happens.
fall.
We literally talked about this on the podcast.
I still think it'll probably get warm again.
I think I'm in seasonal denial. Is what I'm at. I think
Seasonal denial.
I think that's what you can diagnose.
Yeah,
me with, is
Thursday's a
seasonal
high
denial.
of 85,
Yeah, see, it's back.
Yeah, what's the low?
49.
Oh,
But
there it
that's
is.
at
And we're
night.
back.
See?
and
That's
we're back.
Oh my gosh, the low is 37 on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about.
We are
get
in
all
that
the way
weird
down.
period where, like,
It's desert weather.
you could wear a sweater in the morning, and by noon, you hate yourself, and you don't know if it's supposed to be AC or heat in your apartment or house. We're just in that weird. We're in the weird right
Yeah,
now.
over the next 2 weeks, the warmest it gets is 81. However, on that day, the low is 48.
That is a swing.
Whoa.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly
Whoa.
sunny and I love it every single day.
No, it's this is fantastic. And
peaks.
we're finally down to the point where it's not swamp soup when you walk outside.
Absolutely.
It's not humid anymore. It is a little bit, but not to the level that it is during summer.
It may not
We
be
are definitely
swamp
in
soup,
fall.
but it is soup season.
It is soup season.
Yes,
It
it
is soup
is.
season. I like soup season.
Yeah.
Let's go.
High five.
Soup season.
Yeah.
Soup season. Soup season.
Soup. Soup.
Love soup.
Soup. All right.
All right. Let's go to music.
Music. Soup.
I don't think I've ever written a soup song before.
Well, now's the time.
I'm gonna be
Haven't
honest.
written a soup song yet.
Yes. This is like the season of songwriting. Because all the artists are like sort of back in town unless they have a fall tour. So everyone's constantly writing. If they enjoy writing, all the songwriters are still writing because they enjoy writing. Everyone and their mom that I know that writes songs is just constantly in the studio right now.
And everyone's back from all of their like summer trips. This is like that period between now and when Thanksgiving, Christmas, when everyone starts to go back to homes or traveling or whatever. This is the sweet spot. This is when I feel like this is when all of the best songs start to get either written
all
or
of the work gets done.
Everything
Yeah.
gets done right now.
I've written like 11 songs in the past 2 weeks, which it doesn't sound like much, but you also have to think I've got other things going on top of songwriting, and I've been gone some of those days and touring, and still managed to write and record 11 songs.
Yeah, I mean, basically songwriter world is 5 days a week, and so that means you're writing basically every day, a new song every day.
I wrote 2 in 2.5 hours the other day with Trevor Rosen from Old Dominion and a couple, Brockberry Hill and another friend of ours. So
Songwriting season. Soup season.
Soup season.
What S is it? What else can we get in here?
it's actually
Sweater season.
Jesse Joe Dillon.
Sweater season.
Nice. Oh, shoot. That's a room.
Yeah. She's amazing, man. That's for anyone that doesn't know necessarily who that is. Jesse Joe Dillon is the daughter of famous songwriter Dean Dillon, who wrote probably all of your favorite George Strait songs.
Literally.
But I mean, been nominated for a Grammy, ACM for Song of the Year. She's incredible. So it's pretty wild that when you get to talking about like friends of yours that you write with, and then you're like, yeah, hey, it is Dean Dillon's daughter, but she also stands on her own as a fantastic writer.
Yeah, if you don't even know about her dad, she still is crushing.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Yeah. I'm looking at the they go songs written by Jesse Joe Dillon. 10,000 Hours, Break Up in the End, The Breath You Take, Crazy Woman, Girl Next Door, Brandy Clark, Rich, Maren Morris, Songs About You, Brett Eldridge, To Hell and Back, Maren Morris.
Wow.
We'll Come Back Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And that's not even.
did not expect
That's just touching the ones that are like
That's the ones that are pushed up
listed
towards the top.
first. Yeah.
Wow.
Alphabetically.
Yeah. She's a badass.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Didn't know I was a fan.
But I mean, it literally is that time of year where like all of the prep for next year is getting done, and people don't realize that if they aren't in the songwriting space.
Yeah, it's songwriting, it's recording. All of the records that come out next spring, next summer are starting to or finishing up being recorded right now or starting to mix right now. This is the sweet spot where everything really does get done in Nashville, and everyone kind of pushes to the end of the year. This is when it's like, it's go time right now, in the best way, not in a pressure-filled way, but
No.
you're just in motion and it just feels right. I don't know.
And this term gets used in a lot of different ways, but especially. Oh, you all right?
My bad.
Perfect timing for the button.
Sneezing season.
Yeah, there we
I
are.
wonder if I can just get her sneeze as the button instead.
It's weird because this term normally gets used with video games lately, which is crunch, which is where people are being forced to overwork themselves to reach a deadline.
Okay.
Crunch time.
Yeah, it's not that
No.
I live in crunch time.
at all.
No,
Well-
crunch time is usually December when people are trying to fulfill their publishing agreements and turn in a bunch of songs.
Publishing.
It's also the last 2 minutes of a football game and anytime you visit a pizza parlor. crunch time.
All right. Well, I'm going to do that thing that I'm not supposed to do, and this will probably go away later once someone realizes that I've done it. But
Uh-oh.
Crank the fader.
oh no!
Turn.
Oh no!
Turn.
Oh no!
False start.
All right, here we go. False start.
I didn't know what I was missing until the second that you walked into that bar that night under those neon lights. From the moment that you touched me, I was hoping that you'd love me forever and ever for all time. Didn't know that I'd been so blind, but you opened my eyes. I was looking more single every single weekend, looking for a feeling to keep my heart beating, looking for a love all night long, the right kiss, right song, looking for a sunrise, even to a sunset, looking for someone I could spend it with. Then it came around, right out of the blue, and it turns out, I was looking for you.
Ooh, I like the hook on that one.
New mix.
I
New
like
mix.
that.
Looking for you. That's going to be on the next record.
Yes. This is what you get. This is the content you get here on the Quad with Chris Young. You, my friends, the Quad Pod Squad, this is what you get. This is why you come.
Yeah.
This is why we love y'all.
All I can hear when anyone says that is the Donald Trump.
I'm going to come.
Oh God.
my.
This
Anyway.
at times is an R-rated podcast for the record.
No.
Eventually,
When we do another Quad After Dark.
We do need to do a quad after.
I do want to quickly just, and it's a sharp turn here, but thoughts to everybody out on the Hardy team that came out yesterday.
Yes.
He put out a statement. A couple of his band members, his bus driver, involved in a terrible accident on I-40 here near Nashville, and he's in serious condition. His band members are as well. His bus drivers, he's been asking for prayers for everyone. So just thinking about the entire Hardy team. I know the music community and everybody here in Nashville wrapping their arms around them and showing them so much love. So just thoughts to those guys, and hope it's a quick and speedy recovery for everyone.
Absolutely. I didn't even know that was going on. Saw the post that he had made about it, and saw a couple posts from some of the other guys. And, I've been riding with him a lot recently. So that's definitely, you never want to see that. I mean, that's absolutely terrible. And seriously, hope they all get well soon. That's a terrifying thing to go through. So let's segue a little bit, and we'll go to what are you listening to? You want me to go first?
Sure.
Drop it.
Yeah. Let me just quick pivot. Good Day, Nappy Roots.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. I figured I'd change
I
it up
haven't
this
heard
week.
a Nappy Roots reference in, it has to be a decade.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 decades?
North Carolina. Was that them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, that wasn't them. Wait, what was that?
No.
What was the one with the POD
No.
and Nappy Roots? Hold on.
Nappy Roots was the, God, hang on.
There was
Did
a
you
song.
really go, man.
Good day. Good day.
Oh, it was on.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes.
Different on.
Different on.
Different
Yes.
on
Other on. That's what it was. Not bad.
You're thinking of Petey Pablo.
I'm thinking of
Raise
Petey
up.
Pablo.
Yes,
Yep.
you were.
And I put that as there's a lot of P's. Petey
Yeah.
Pablo, Nappy P Roots. I get it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Bear, what you got?
So apparently, I did not realize that this might only be a Florida song until I actually started.
Was it Sandstorm? We all heard it.
So yesterday, sometimes I'll be like, why heller? And I always assumed everyone would know where I was saying that from. And I followed it up, and my friend Emily knew about it, and I started singing it to everyone, and I was like, wait, y'all don't know this song at all?
Nope.
And then I realized in the song it says, I'm going to show you how we do it in Florida. And then I'm from a city called Orlando. And I'm like, okay, maybe this might actually just be an Orlando song. So Ryan, I don't know if you know this, but the song I'm Not Locked Down by Trio.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a Florida thing.
Yeah.
I've never heard this before. I thought the Holler was from...
Holler. Yeah, no, that's from several other things.
But again, at the beginning of the song is "Wah holler," and then it jumps. Then it goes, "I feel good, I'm single, I'm free." Woo. Yeah. Anyways, apparently it is just a Florida song. I had no idea.
I do want to take just a moment, Ryan. I know you want to bring this up. I know you want to bring this up, Josh. I know you want to bring this up. But obviously, do you have the information for people to donate?
Yes.
For the hurricane.
Yes. So always the best route to go, and I think for me, is the Red Cross. The Red Cross obviously does a lot of relief work. So I'll get that information for you guys, because you can easily text that number for a $10 donation. But thoughts to everybody in the state of Florida. Thanks for bringing it up, CY. This was a devastating storm, and Hurricane Ian has ravaged the state in what is projected to be the most expensive and costly damage in Florida's history from a hurricane. And so thoughts to everybody on Florida's West Coast, especially the Cape Coral, Naples, Fort Myers, Sanibel, Punta Gorda area. They were absolutely caught off guard by this storm, number one, and number two, just the videos out of there are heartbreaking. So thoughts to everyone there. And again, the Red Cross, the American Red Cross, is your best bet to donate. I will get that number here, drop it for you guys. But thoughts with everybody, on Florida's West Coast, because it's scary what's happening.
Well, hell, where I'm from is the opposite coast, and they still got bad flooding. I see videos of my hometown, and everyone's houses are like underwater just because it's on the river and by the ocean over there. I mean, so many of my friends' houses are flooded, and I'm like, this is, and we didn't even get the hard hit from the Cat 4. It was just the surges and the rain, because it was moving very slow. So it affected a lot.
That's the scariest thing about a storm like that, is that it was moving really, really slowly. So you're just going to get rainfall, even when it's looking at like the Orlando area. It's a massive amount of rain in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
You're talking about record storm surge that happened in the Fort Myers area too, and Orlando, which is not used to that kind of water there in the center of the state. It's just, again, thoughts with everybody there in the Sunshine State back home. If you want to donate or you want to help out, it's really easy to do. You can go to redcross.org, or you can text Ian, IAN, to 90999, and that'll make a $10 donation to help those affected by the storm. Anything you can do to pitch in and help would be greatly appreciated, guys. We love you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Hard segue back to.
We've had some interesting segues
You want to go?
Yeah,
Ryan?
let's do this.
You go next.
So I had an opportunity.
Josh was like, "You're going to go to me, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Had an opportunity to go see John Party at the Amp this weekend down at Ascend Amphitheater down by the water, and what an unbelievable show he put on. And Lainey Wilson, obviously, to open up for him. But Tequila Little Time by John Party, one of my favorite little tunes by him. Got everybody in a good mood. Great show. So Tequila Little Time by JP.
Mine, back in 2017, I wrote this song with a couple friends of mine, including this artist, April Cry, who at the time was a signed artist doing a lot with Radio Disney Country, and she has since pivoted away from country and doing this like very soulful, bluesy Adele sort of kind of vibe, and just put out a record on Friday, which included this song. So sometimes you just write songs and 5 years later they come out, but the name of the song is called Take the Edge Off by April Cry.
Had a chance to see her at the listening room. She is unbelievably talented.
She's like 4'11"
She's
and
amazing.
just sings her ass off. She really is. She is the tiniest.
Why does
human
that
being.
have anything to do?
Dude, her voice is unreal.
The thing that comes out of her face, you're just like, whoa, how is this possible?
Oh my Lord!
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Tiny girl, big voice. That's kind of the tagline right there on our website. So you bring it up. It's true. It's awesome.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports.
I basically have no shot at winning against Stacey O'Neal this week in fantasy football. Somehow it still shows me having a 10% probability of winning.
Where do they get those probabilities
kicker, from? I don't know.
Like how is that possible?
20 points from a kicker?
Yeah, I just
you could. There's a realistic possibility.
5 50-yard field goals.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway,
Justin Tucker record field goal. Could happen. Who knows?
Michael Ray is still not benched Dak Prescott.
We tried.
We tried.
And he said he would do it, of course, the week that he was playing me. But guess what?
It's fine. You still win.
I still win. I still got 2 players left, too.
Ryan, somehow Mitchell Tenpenny has a 1% chance of beating you. I'm not quite sure how that would work.
And Alvin Kamara was in my lineup and forgot to take him out. So
Yeah.
Well, unless your defense gets like negative 20 points.
Josh, you stepped all over.
yeah, you crushed.
That was a great week.
Ernest.
It was a nice bounce back after the shellacking from Stacy last week.
And John Stone goes down
Yeah.
to Machado. Austin from
Once
leaving
again.
Austin.
Ooh, a little
Cheers,
slip up
cheers.
by John Stone, the projected winner of the league this year. So, a little bit of a rut right now.
I mean, look, man, I'm 2-2 in both my leagues. I don't feel like that's a bad start to the season.
I'm about to be 3-1.
Some of these games have been really weird. I would also like to go out and let's quickly shift to college football before we get to the NFL. What are your Week 5 takeaways, Rye? Give it to us.
That's a great question. Week 5 takeaways. Number 1, I didn't watch a lot of college football this weekend, but I could tell you this. Here comes Alabama. Here comes Alabama. Georgia, 2 weeks in a row now, struggling.
Did they win?
Yes, a win's a win, but Alabama is proving to be the best team in the country. Take away that 1-point win over Texas and the thought that they could possibly lose to the Longhorns. Bama's rolling right now. The tide is coming in. And Nick Saban once again in line to win another national championship this year.
Coming in. Shut up.
Bryce Young did get injured, though, so we got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
the one
wait a
thing.
minute.
You got to keep an eye on that.
Is he important to their team?
He's very important.
That's so weird.
that's so weird.
God.
Also,
Texas beats West Virginia.
I have no idea how my Gators did yesterday because they had to play yesterday while I was watching.
they whomped
NFL.
yesterday, so they did win yesterday.
Okay, well, good.
So
Because they had to move because of the hurricane. 2 games
Yeah,
played.
they were playing Eastern Washington, so it's, I mean,
Eastern Washington.
yeah. Sorry, 52-17, but I mean, there's they also let them score 14 in the fourth quarter.
It's probably all the third string guys are in at that point.
they pulled all their starters at that point. So
another takeaway. Oklahoma's in trouble.
Oklahoma's in a lot of trouble.
Oklahoma is in a lot of trouble. Dylan Gabriel was actually, former UCF quarterback, was
Florida man.
my long shot to win the Heisman. I actually put $25 on him to win the Heisman. That's not going to happen this year. Then not only do they lose to Kansas State last weekend, but they get just absolutely whomped by TCU. So Oklahoma's in trouble.
Which, here's the interesting thing. You know who's leading the Big 12 right now?
Kansas.
At 4-0?
They're 5-0.
5-0.
2-0 in the conference.
Kansas!
Kansas is
What the
somehow
hell?
Rockin', shockin',
five.
What
jayhawkin'.
is happening?
I don't understand what is happening.
Listen to this and think about how backwards this would be as close as 3 years ago. This is the order that it goes in the Big 12. Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Baylor, who we thought
won the Big 12 last
after
year.
Art Briles' mess was just going to hell.
Literally.
Yeah. Texas Tech, Texas, Iowa State, Oklahoma, and West Virginia at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The Big 12 is wacky, dude.
It's wild, man. It is wild.
in all
right
of
now.
the years that I lived in Kansas City, like I could walk on for the Kansas football team at any point. At any point in there.
And
You
by,
should have.
I still have 4 years of eligibility. I am available if anyone
and
is
by the way,
looking.
shout out, College Game Day is heading to Kansas this
know.
weekend.
Why?
College Game Day for the first time ever is heading to Kansas
I
this
hope they
weekend.
just get destroyed.
Oh, Lawrence.
It's insane.
This is your moment, okay? TCU and Kansas battle the 2 Big 12 heavyweights.
You know what? I can't argue that, though.
I can't
that's
either,
the
and that's
problem.
what sucks. Shout out to the Sandbar in Lawrence. Shout out to Mass Street Music. Those are the only 2 good things in Lawrence.
My last college football takeaway is going to be the fact that
Say you better include me.
we're going to end up with chalk for the college football playoff again. It's going to be Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, and Ohio State. Yet again, for the college ball playoff, because that is how this is going to shake out. While there's been so much chaos this year and there's been so many upsets and there's been possibilities of this team and this team, we're going to end up once again with a college ball playoff that has those 4 teams in it.
Okay, look.
It's still
Which
early.
is why it is time to expand the playoff, and we're going to do that next year, the year after.
We are. I say we. They are.
It's going to be chalk again.
Can you argue that those aren't the best teams?
No,
though?
they are. I think
That's
the
the
only
problem.
question mark would have been
That's
Clemson,
the
but
problem.
Clemson looks great
Clemson.
now.
They look
That's a
great.
big win over Wake Forest, who's a very good team, by the way. Wake Forest, a very good team, could contend for an ACC title.
Dude, did you really just say it's a big win over Wake Forest?
There was. Wake Forest is good. They are good. And then they topped NC State this week.
Yeah,
by
I
10
think
points.
that's all you needed to say.
When was the
actually.
last time we had a Wake Forest conversation?
Yeah,
Tim Duncan?
Deeks, baby.
Yes.
Chris Paul.
Tim
All
Duncan?
right.
And there's your college football
got
takeaways
through-
this week.
We got through college. Let's move on. We're going to go to NFL. But before we get to NFL, do you want me to break this down, my DraftKings bet, before or after we
God.
discuss NFL?
I think before.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
tee it up, baby.
All right. So here's the deal. A lot of stuff happened the other day. Very interestingly, one of the biggest things that happened has put me in a position to either win quite a bit of money or a whole crap load of money on DraftKings.
Jealous.
Shout out to our good friends
None
at
of my
DraftKings.
bets. went
Yeah,
through.
shout out to our friends at DraftKings. So I hedged, right? For whatever reason, the 49ers are favored tonight.
I still don't know why.
I'm still really confused as to how they're favored in this game.
What does Vegas know?
Now, I hedged my bet. I did bet on them to cover what my cash out option is on my other parlay, just in case. Because you know what? If I hit this other parlay, am I losing quite a bit of money to hedge this bet? Yes. Am I still making a crap load of money?
Yes.
Yes. I'll go ahead and tell you. Also, do you have the gambling hotline pulled up before I start throwing this out there?
Yeah. We love, gambling, and it's always fun. But
Tennessee Red Line.
Yeah, if you get a little out of hand here, the easy way to do it is 1-800-522-4700. That's how we get control of not losing our houses and cars and wives.
So here's the interesting thing. So over the past 2 weeks, I have started with seed money, and I've taken it all the way up to $21,000.
Okay.
I've had a good couple weeks, but I'm trying not to give it all back.
Sure.
Which is, again,
gambling-
while we're
gambling
giving
101.
the gambling hotline out there. I have a $4,500 hedge wager on the 49ers at -1.5 to pay $9K.
So you have the 49ers -1.5.
So here's why I have that. Because sitting out there right now, I have a bet that is Rams +1.5 over 42.5. Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee to both score touchdowns. That would pay $11K. And also, I have this weird bet that if you had asked me in the middle of the day, should I just go ahead and cash out? I probably would have, but I didn't because I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this ride. And this is what happened. Over 45.5, Jags and Eagles, which covered. Bills -3. They came back from 17 down to push that.
Great. Stays open.
Over 45, Chargers and Texans,
Yep.
which hit. Over 40, Patriots and Packers, which hit. Kansas City Chiefs +1. What the hell?
That was...
Which covered easily.
Yes, it did.
And the Dallas Cowboys money line to cover. Now, all I have left is Rams +2.
Okay.
And if I hit that on top of that other bet, now granted, we're now involving a lot of stuff, but it pays $20,000
Yeah.
on a $500 bet.
I hate you
So
and your
dinner?
gambling.
I'm taking everybody
All right,
to
let's
dinner.
go. Let's go.
Can we go to dinner in New York?
Why not? I don't understand why we can't. It is just absolutely bananas. But
it's a lot of things that had to go
crossed.
right.
And you know what? There's still stuff that has to go right tonight. But I want to start with the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to start with your team. How in the hell were they not favored?
That is an excellent question. The Chiefs have been road favorites for pretty much the last 3 years straight. I think
They finally covered.
and they finally covered. Wow. Just still do not bet them to cover. They do not cover.
Don't do it.
I don't really know. This line was very confusing. When you called me yesterday and you're like, hey, Chiefs +1, what am I missing? Because you were
what's going on?
what's going on here?
Who's out?
You're looking for me to go, oh, Travis Kelce's sitting this one out or something. No, I do not understand why that's. It should at very least be a pick 'em. I don't know why you're getting plus odds with the Chiefs. They beat the absolute crap out of the Bucks. Patrick Mahomes still throws a random interception for no reason whatsoever.
He also became Houdini yesterday and pulled off a spinning throw
He was doing
touchdown.
like the under.
Insane.
He did an underhand. He did a sidearm that I'm not even sure how the angle makes sense from where he threw it to how it got around the defender.
He tries to be too cute sometimes, and it annoys
Maybe that's
me.
why the picks happen. But man,
But for
is magical.
for every pick, he runs up to the line of scrimmage and then basketball shoots it over the defender into Clyde
It's
Edwards-Helaire.
insane. You
crazy.
cannot defend him. It's unbelievable watching that dude play quarterback. It is special what we get to watch every Sunday.
Were you just
or
about to
Sunday
give
night.
Clyde's Edward-Helaire a compliment?
I was.
he was.
He was
I got you.
open in there. I still whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I sat him on my bench too, and he got 22 points.
By the way,
Two touchdowns.
while
Still
you
won, it's
while you
fine.
never take the Chiefs to cover, understand that. You should take them money line after a loss because they are now 11-3 under Mahomes following a loss, averaging 31.5 points per game in those contests.
And really, without a questionable call at the end of the Colts
would've been
game,
even
we
more,
would
yeah.
be 4-0 right now. So the Chiefs look good. We're still not out of the woods. We have the Raiders next week. We have the Bills in 2 weeks.
Speaking of 3-1, your
Dolphins?
Dallas Cowboys.
Can I say something really quick?
Hang on.
It's real- no, it's positive.
Vince Gill is calling me.
Put them on.
We'll take a pause
Let's
on
put 'em
that.
Hang on. Hey, before you say anything, I'm doing my podcast, and you're on speaker right now.
Okay, then I won't say what I was about to say.
What do you want to
We
say?
may or may not have been a little tuned up listening to Vince Gill music last night.
I was about to say, I forgot that we called you.
I got drunk dialed.
Yeah, you did.
I completely forgot about that till just now.
All right, we'll go back to work. I just called and saying thanks for reaching out.
Love you, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry about you.
Hey, honestly, if you're going to drunk dial anyone, that's a
Incredible.
pretty good person to drunk dial.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Who? It was me, you, Austin, and Jess. Is that who it was?
Jordo was with us.
No, Jordan
just
it
Austin?
was just us last night
Okay.
when the Vince Gill song came on, and you're like, we should call
I was
him.
like, we should call Vince Gill. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah,
I
we're
was
going
like,
to call
it's
him.
like 10 o'clock at night. He's not going to answer.
Sorry, Vince.
This has inspired me. I want to come up with the top 3 list of people that I would love to drunk dial right now.
Oh, no. You know what? That should be Ryan's list for next week. We
I
need
like
you
that.
to get
that's
to work on
that's
that.
my list for next
okay?
week. Top 3 people that I would drunk dial
If
right now.
if I know them, we have to call them.
Okay.
if any of us have
Done.
the phone numbers.
Done.
All right.
That's for next week. My top 3 list of drunk dialers.
Dallas, Cooper Rush, getting the job done, creating space for Dak Prescott to get healthy. Our defense, 2 turnovers. I know it's Carson Wentz. I get it. I get it. But so far, everybody's like, pooping on that win against the Bengals. They were in the Super Bowl last year, guys. I get it. Their offensive line isn't that good, but everybody has those problems from time to time. We beat a legitimate team. We've got 2 wins in the division now. We're 3-1, which if you had asked me when I saw Dak Prescott go down, if I thought we'd be 3-1,
We thought the season was over.
I was like, oh my God, this is horrific. Dak's not going to come back for like 7 weeks. He's going to be on IR. He didn't go on IR. He's talking about coming back either next week or the week after that.
But
I'm intrigued, man. I get it. Like we get into the teeth of our schedule really quick, because we've got the Rams, then the Eagles, who are 4-0.
Yep.
They look great. They have got the weapons. They have figured some stuff out. Jalen Hurts, I've always thought was undervalued.
You
there's a lot
benched
going on
Aaron
there.
Rodgers this week for Jalen Hurts
Absolutely.
in fantasy.
I did.
Absolutely.
I know, which I was like,
did.
whoa. Okay.
I did.
Did it work out?
Yes.
It did.
By the way,
I didn't win, but that wasn't because of that decision.
who is your favorite Cowboys quarterback of all time? Just curious.
I mean, do you
this
go
is a leading.
Staubach
I'm
or do
leading
you
the
go
witness
Aikman?
here. I'm leading the witness here.
Do you go Staubach or Aikman? And I know why you're asking me, because Cooper Rush is the first Cowboys quarterback that started 4-0.
To go 4-0 to win his first 4 career starts. Cooper
Yes.
Rush is the first Cowboys quarterback to do
Yes,
that.
he is. That's also a stat that will win you like trivia night 2 years from now.
Cannot wait.
10 years from now.
Gonna break it out.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
With the exception of the Washington C words, nice. I think the NFC East might be the best division
Whoa.
in the NFL.
Really?
I really do. I think the Giants
You
are
know,
good.
that's actually a really good point.
I think the Cowboys are really good, and I think the Eagles are really good, and I think that the AFC West, who we thought was going to be really great, the Raiders are not good, and Denver, thanks a
not
lot,
good.
is not
and
good.
Seattle's not good.
Seattle's not in there.
I also,
Oh, yeah.
I also want to go out of my way to point out the fact that I said this last year, and I believe the year before as well. Everybody always goes to the Skip Bayless quote of
NFC
the
least.
NFC least. And yet, outside of Tom Brady-led teams, the division that has won the most Super Bowls, other than those, being Tampa and being obviously the Patriots,
have come from the NFC East.
have come from the NFC
Thanks a lot,
East.
Eli Manning.
Yeah. Those are
It's
just
the
facts.
Eagles, the Giants,
That's
It's just facts. I really do. I think that those 3 teams are really, really good.
the Dallas defense is better than I thought it would be. I actually questioned it week 2, and we still have not given up 20 points in any game.
The defense is great. Now, I do have an argument too. The Giants, are they good?
I think Saquon Barkley is back, which
Dable
makes
goes
them good.
for a 2-point conversion in that first game against Tennessee. They beat the Titans, which the Titans are playing better football now. But they beat the Bears, and we're going to get to that in a second. here.
Like that matters.
Without their 2 starting quarterbacks having to run a wildcat offense for the majority of that game to beat the Bears. The Bears are not a good football team. So
I know this.
What can you take away from a win like that?
Yeah. How do you feel about your team?
Well,
That's a good segue. That's a good
How
segue.
do I feel about my team? I just want to talk about Justin Fields for a minute. Out of 67 pass attempts, he's only completed 34.
He's pretty bad.
He has
Did
only
all of
thrown
them come on that last possession?
He has only thrown 2 touchdowns and had 4 interceptions. He's only thrown for 471 total yards. He is a disaster. And I don't know if it truly is our team, like coaches and stuff like that, ever since Matt Nagy came into play. I've never liked our coaches from the beginning, ever since we fired last year and we got another Ryan. And I can't get over that, and it's proving they are proving me right that I knew that these were bad decisions for us. And again, the one thing that we need to fix has still not been fixed. Not only is that our quarterback problem, but it is our O-line problem. He was sacked 6 times in yesterday's game? Like, we'll never give our quarterbacks a chance to even try to be good if we never fix our O-line. And I don't know what the hell I watched with that last play with 2 seconds left. And
Would you mind if I summarize Bears football in one play?
Sure.
3rd and 4 at the Chicago 33 with 3 seconds to go. Shotgun. Justin Fields pass short right to Ebner to Chicago's 35 for 2 yards. Lateral to East St. Brown to Chicago 44 for 9. Fumbles. Touched at Chicago 44. Recovered by Fields at the 39. Fields to the 36. -3 yards. Lateral to East St. Brown. 8 yards. Lateral to Eber. 44. New York Giants. 12 yards. Fumbles. Recovered. Patrick. -6 yards. Fields. 1 yard. 1 yard. Fumble. Fumble. Recovery. Fumble. Touched to the Chicago 32. Recovered at the Chicago 28. That is Bears football.
Yeah, that was that last play that I was just talking about.
Yep, about 12
Even
seconds.
though we had no hope in ever, because we would have needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. There wasn't enough time for any of that.
I wonder on that play how many fantasy leagues were ruined by
Oh my God.
that number of fumbles.
Or Wagers. Can think about like the
Let's talk about the Bills.
over-unders on that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's no hope for the Bears.
Are the Bills? That was a good
they
last
got-
second win over the Ravens.
They got lucky.
They were up down by 17.
They got lucky.
Can we talk about the Ravens for a second too? Because that's a team that should be
pass
4-0.
defense is
That
terrible.
is a team
Lamar
that should
Jackson
be 4-0.
is amazing.
He is trying to get paid.
Is
Pay the
doing
man.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He deserves to be paid. Ravens, what in the hell are you doing?
Ravens are the first team to blow a 17-point lead in 2 of their first 4 games since the 2011 Vikings.
And none of it is his fault.
Nope.
He can't win a game by himself, unfortunately.
His back hurts right now.
Yeah, he's been carrying that whole team.
Prior to these huge blown leads, the Ravens had won 75 straight games in which they led by at least 17.
Jesus. All right.
Oof.
We got to get to a sort of sensitive topic before we move on.
Do you want to talk to it for a second here?
Yeah, we have to.
The Dolphins, the NFL, shame on you. Player safety, the NFL talks about how important that is, and I think we saw lack of player safety and concern for your athletes on the football field. Tua Tagovailoa should have never gone back in that game against Buffalo last weekend and should not have been playing football on Thursday against Cincinnati, considering it was a short week. What we saw was not only downright scary, it was
Possibly career
heartbreaking.
ending.
It was heartbreaking. That was a severe traumatic brain injury. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, the NFL fired the independent doctor that had actually cleared him to go back into that game against Buffalo. So there is a little bit of accountability here. But the entire world heartbreaks for Tua, and hopefully that he will have a speedy recovery. And
Time out. Here's my thing. Is that just scapegoating? They're trying
possibly
to cover their ass.
someone
but
had
there's
to get
going to be
blamed.
more accountability that needs to be had
Why
here.
haven't they come out and said exactly what brain injury he has or what's wrong with him? Why have they not come out and say it? Because they know it's going to backtrack to what happened in the Bills game.
The NFLPA is still investigating that Bills game, by the way.
They can't come out and say it for insurance
can't.
purposes. If they say what it is, then there's a lawsuit that can veer very easily
Immediately.
I don't know if we'll see Tua back on the field
This
year or next year, for the record. That was scary. And, again, all the reports
hope
coming
he's
out,
okay.
all the reports coming out are he is feeling better, has movement in all his extremities, is back with the team, is recovering, seemingly okay. But you're talking about, again, in a span of 5 days, 2 really, really bad head injuries. You're talking about brain swelling. There's a lot of things that could potentially happen here.
Well, so the biggest thing that I've seen, and granted, I am not a doctor. I do not know everything about everything that there is to know. There are people that are more qualified, allegedly, to keep them safe.
In theory.
But the biggest thing that I've seen is, the week before, it looked like he was having neurological symptoms from whiplash when he went down. They were saying it was a back or a neck injury.
He never once reached for his back. He reached for his head a lot.
He reached for his head immediately. Now, that in and of itself doesn't prove anything, and obviously this is going to be dealt with, and this is going to be exactly what you're talking about. The NFLPA is investigating this because they want to keep the players safe. That's the most important thing to them, and that's why they exist. And I'm not saying that it was even malicious. A lot of people want to play through injury. They want to be like,
the players
I'm fine.
do too.
I'm
Tua
gonna play hurt.
wanted to be back out there.
He wanted to be back out there, but sometimes you have to protect them from themselves, right? That's the whole point. That's what the NFL always says. That's the crux of this entire thing. There's a thing called second impact syndrome, SIS, is how they, sort of abbreviate it. You can die if you still have concussion symptoms and you suffer another concussion, like immediately. Like this
Talk about brain
this
swelling.
is serious. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is on this, but
They did not.
I don't think he should have been in that game.
I think if we are doing forced quarantines for amounts of days for a sickness, I think if someone shows any sort of wobbliness after a head, that should be the same thing. It should be 10 days. Hey, sorry, you wobbled when you got up. 10 days. Cameron Brate against the Chiefs last night.
Yep.
Slow to get up. Slow. He thought he was running fast off the field, was barely trotting. Like, that should be 10 days minimum so that we can at least like diagnose, give it enough time, see what's going on.
Make sure nothing there's more serious that could be caused.
Like it just, and the hard part. So I was working on Sunday when the Tua hit happened, because I was texting you guys like what happened. And then I saw the clip of it, and I watched the rest of that game, and I felt like it was a more violent game after watching that hit with him. Like, even normal tackles, I was just like, like everything about me was suddenly more attuned to how
To the human being.
violent
just
and
the player.
physical the sport really is. And I don't know how much of it is desensitized over years of watching it or whatever. But human life is very fragile, and like this game and no amount of money is worth sacrificing your health and your life and a future with your family or whatever. You know, this was, we celebrated Alex Smith from coming back from that horrible leg injury and almost dying and all of the terrible things to come take another snap. That was great. Hooray. But like, I want to see him with his wife and kids for 40 more years. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
here's
that's
the other thing. I actually sent you guys a clip the other day of one of the plays where Matthew Stafford, when he was playing for the Lions, suffered a really bad shoulder injury. Got up. Are you okay?
ragweed.
Yeah.
I've been sneezing so bad for like last week.
Got up, went to the sideline. I believe it was the Browns they were playing against. Called a timeout. He was like, I can go back in and throw. The player is always going to want to go back in and be the workhorse and be like, I'm the guy that can lead us to victory. I'm going to be the guy that can do this. And you know what? To some extent, you also do have to step back and go, maybe they did everything right and he just got hurt. But like you just said, Josh, I want to see those people as human beings just as much as I do as players.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that gets lost, whether it's, anybody in the public eye, whether it's musicians. We're talking about like somebody got sick and they lost their voice and people get mad at them and they're like, boo, you should have done it anyway.
But I think the reaction to the Tua injury was human.
That's very much more a serious thing when you're talking about a traumatic possible brain injury.
But I think that's why the reaction was so swift to come down on the NFL in Miami, because everybody felt that human side. When you're seeing a guy that has that kind of injury, that with his fingers mangled in front of his face and gets carted off on a stretcher, you immediately then, that's where the human side of you comes out. Football doesn't matter. Yeah. And so speedy recovery, hopefully, to him. And I think what this will do is force the NFL to truly look inwards and say, now, concussions, you get one, you're not coming back in the game. You enter the concussion protocol and you take a certain amount of time off from football.
You're out.
Yeah, I think protocol should not be, we went to a tent and then you came back in. I think protocol is, cool, sorry, you're done.
You're out for the game. I don't care the magnitude of the play or the game.
I don't care
Patrick
if it's Patrick Mahomes
left a game in the playoffs because of a concussion.
Absolutely he did. Absolutely
so, it's that the player's safety needs to be paramount in this situation, and I hope Tua has a speedy recovery. I hope he does eventually get to play football again. But let's just hope that he's okay.
Well, this even goes back to when Herbert was hurt and everyone is like, get him out of the game. He is in miserable pain.
When he broke a rib. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think what happened there is that's not a brain injury. And so it gets treated differently.
Yeah, let's poke a hole in your lung eventually.
No, well.
Can we at least acknowledge one guy that did get carried off the field but not for any injury? Did you see DK Metcalf got carted off the field to go to the bathroom? Did you see this? In the Seattle game?
Okay.
We gotta go.
This is a hard segue.
This is Paul Pierce, like
What?
2.0. Yes. DK Metcalf got carted off the field in the Seahawks game because he needed to use the restroom.
Who among us have not been in this situation where you didn't want to go walk to the bathroom, which is, 300 yards away?
You know what? That is a very hard segue to get out of a very serious conversation. Thank you, Ryan. Also, everybody poops. It's a book. I read it to my niece.
He quote tweeted it and it said, quote, that clinch walk wouldn't have made it.
Okay. Let's go to movies. Movies. All right.
Poops.
Smile. 2022.
Stop, Josh, please.
Horror / psychological horror. Hour and 55 minutes, rated R. 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. 86% of Google users like this movie. After witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she can't explain. As an overwhelming terror begins taking over her life, Rose must confront her troubling past in order to survive and escape her horrifying new reality. Parker Finn directed, Paramount Pictures, release date September 30th. Who has thoughts?
I have a prepared statement that I'd like to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
After careful consideration and consultations with my therapist, lawyer, and Rotten Tomatoes, I have been instructed to delay my intake of the movie Smile at this time. The toll it would have taken on my stress level and the physical labor it would have taken to shield my eyes during this film would have been grand and detrimental to my well-being. I will be seeking additional counsel before reevaluating my decision and would appreciate if everyone respected my privacy at this time. No interviews, please, or random smiles from strangers during this process. Thank you. I'm not looking at any of you.
All of us are smiling for anyone that's listening on audio and not on YouTube. If you can't see what we just did, I thought it was good. I saw this movie get a lot of flack, and I'm kind of surprised because they were like, it relied too heavily on jump scares at certain points.
Yes, it did.
And
Time for some spoilers.
it had a bummer ending.
It did have a bunch.
Josh?
Yeah, but it's a horror movie.
This was First off, I hate that I watched this movie. I hate these movies. I hate these movies. I hate these movies. I hate these movies. Yeah.
Were you the one that was pressing for us to watch this?
Look, I know it was mostly I wanted to see Ryan's reaction, and now
And he didn't watch it.
I got sold up the river a little bit. Yeah, that's right.
Haley didn't watch it
Like
either.
I said, the day I was going to go see it, I ended up just sitting in bed all day because it was the Route 91 anniversary. But it was also one of those things where I was like, I still want to see this movie. It is my goal. I will see it this week for sure, since now it's out all week and I don't have to wait till the weekend. But I want to see it, and I want to come back and talk about it again next week with my opinion. So, but finish yours.
But you weren't crazy about it.
The ending left me wanting quite a bit. I had figured out a way to rewrite the ending that I would have enjoyed a lot better.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to present that to the crowd?
Or do we want to wait till next week after she sees it? I'm intrigued because I kind of want to know. I saw two schools of thought, and I think they're both wrong. The director was explaining the ending, trying to imply that it was like people go through life, and life is a kind of terrifying aspect of being alive, right? He was like, being alive is terrifying in and of itself. And I'm like, I feel like you're trying to explain away the ending of your movie.
Yeah.
You're not really giving us anything to really chew on. Also, I found it interesting the people that were saying the movie was terrible because it
wasn't
exploited normal horror tropes like jump scares. I'm like, yeah, but that's part
the point
of
of it.
horror. Like that.
Well, I do love their advertisement where they've been putting the actors
That's
in.
brilliant.
Yeah.
in
That
all
is
these
a
sports
stroke
games.
If you guys have not seen this, Ryan, was it you that sent it to us?
Yeah, it's been at a couple baseball games actually where they've sent somebody with the Smile T-shirt and just behind home plate where the cameras are, smiling the entire time.
It's really great.
It's pretty creepy.
I will
And it's
say,
smart.
for 3/4 of the movie, forget the tropes of the jump scares. I knew they were coming. You almost can pick out when they're going to happen. It gets real quiet, and all of a sudden, you're really deep, and something jumps out. That's normal. I was expecting that. I actually think the movie was relatively well done up until the ending.
Okay, so you know what's very interesting is you realize this was a short film.
It was still like 2 hours, wasn't it?
No. What I'm saying is that what
The original.
they based it off of was a short film, and it's the kind of stuff that I've done before where I've shown you guys like a 6-minute movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we watched one.
Yeah, we
the
watched
box
that-
one.
The box one.
That
The
freaked
box.
the hell out of me.
I like
But
that
the
one.
problem is like that's great in a short film aspect. When you try to stretch it into a 2-hour movie, is it good enough to be a 2-hour movie? I think this suffered from that.
Yeah, I do too, and I think that I've come up with a way. I've come up with an ending that could solve that for me, at least as the non-horror fan. But I will wait on that if we want to. I don't want to ruin this because in order for me to explain it, I would have to explain the end of the movie, which would then ruin.
Yeah, let's do the alternate ending breakdown next week.
All right.
I will go see this. I have to consult with Rotten Tomatoes and my therapist, but I will go see this.
I'll make sure that we go together.
I will go see this with you, Bear.
I think you'll be okay. You will.
I hate jump scares.
I know.
That's
and
what
there's
freaks me out
and
about
there's
it.
a lot of them.
It's
There's a
gonna
lot
get
of
you.
them.
It's
It's
gonna
going to
get
get
you.
you.
It's
even when you know it's coming, it's still going to
It's
get
the
you.
jump scares that get me. Like, and this, even the trailer. Like when I watched the trailer again last night, just while I was writing my prepared statement, and I had goosebumps all up and down my arms. Like I am so frightened to go see this movie.
I was cringing for most of it. I was like, just full clench, kind of. I was DK Metcalfing real hard.
Oh my god!
But I will wait with my rewrite until next week. Because
right.
I think I solved it for myself of what I was looking for out of the ending.
All right, what are we going to watch?
Do we have Disney Plus available to all of us? Because Hocus
Yes.
Pocus 2 just came out.
Oh my god!
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Spooky
it.
season, Hocus Pocus 2. Here we go.
And I know everyone will be down to watch this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, that's what we're doing.
I was trying to map it out too. There is another scary movie coming out at the end of the month on October 28th, which is the nun that becomes an exorcist.
Oh, great! Another paranormal kind of
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
My God,
Yeah,
What
let's
you got?
go.
And that one, I'm like super in. I don't know. It's probably just like growing up, Catholic and like doing all the Christian music for so long. I am so deeply in.
Doing all the Christian music
10
makes
years
me
of
want to
my life.
watch this horror movie.
No, because there's something.
I don't know how you get from A to Z here, but that's
because there is
quite the
something about
interesting-
something about religious horror movies that I'm totally okay with. Exorcism of Emily Rose, no issues, 0 issues in that movie.
All right. Well, we're gonna get after it.
I hate this month so
but
much.
Poltergeist,
Hocus Pocus 2
yikes.
This week. Hocus Pocus 2.
Disney
Do it.
Plus
Disney
only.
Plus. Let's go to the hot take.
Hot take.
Bear, this better be a good one.
Well, you're going to disagree with me.
Fire away.
So this is a very, very simple hot take. It's either one or the other. And I've brought this up once. It wasn't an argument, but we just brought it up once when we were talking about chips. The crunchy Cheeto will forever be the better Cheeto over the puffy Cheeto. Forever. No one wants the puffy Cheeto. It gets stuck in their teeth. Okay.
Whoa.
First off, not
First
no
of all,
one.
that you just buried the lead. Your hot take is no one wants the puffy Cheeto.
Well, I'm just saying the crunchy Cheeto is better than the puffy Cheeto.
No.
Yes.
Because you just said no one would ever want a Cheeto like a puff.
It gets stuck in your teeth really bad. I know you want it because you always want the puffy Cheetos.
Wow, the internet's ablaze about this, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah,
I told you, it's
this
either
a
the
big
crunchy
thing?
or the puffy.
this is a thing. Crunchy versus puffy Cheetos is a thing on the internet. And
Look,
you know,
I like
Am I
them
the-
both. They're both
are-
Cheetos, but I like the Cheetos puffs.
No, they even taste different.
No, they don't.
They taste
No,
different.
they're
yes,
the
they
same
do.
ingredients.
No, they taste different. The other one tastes more like a fluff of just nothing.
Okay.
I do very much love my friends at the chip preview or the chipreview.com. Excuse me.
Yeah, he loves you guys. He
chipreview.com.
doesn't even know what the
I
show your
love
name is.
I love you guys. They do have a pro and cons list for both. If I may have the floor here to read these for a second.
Well, before you read those, what does everyone pick?
I want to hear this.
The
Yeah,
pros and
let's
cons
hear
list
the pros and cons.
from the chipreview.com. The Cheetos Puffs pros, bigger bag, don't fill you up. The cons are not as many chips by weight. One time I got sick and threw up after eating them.
Okay, that's stupid.
Gets stuck in
Yeah,
your teeth.
one time I threw up after eating a steak
See, get
that was
stuck in
undercooked.
your
Gets
teeth.
stuck in your
It
teeth.
didn't make
All
me
right.
stop eating steak.
That's the cons and pros of the Cheetos Puffs. The Cheetos Crunchy pros feels far more substantial. The crunchy texture is preferred among consumers, and there are more flavors to choose from. Those are the pros. The cons for the crunchy. Even half a bag will fill you up. Addictive, probably laced with something.
Who the hell?
And the bags always feel so small.
Okay, so clearly the crunchy is way better.
I want to do a deep dive on the chip.
Yeah, we got to figure out who the hell's doing this. I'm going to go Puffs just to be contrarian. And because I think they're both great, I'm not saying that the Puffs are necessarily better than the crunchy ones. I'm just saying that you said out of your mouth parts that no one likes the Puffs, and you're way wrong.
You always pick the Puff
You're
over the
way
crunchy.
wrong.
Anytime I've seen you go in a variety bag, you always pick the Puffs.
I would rather have the jalapeno.
The Puffs or the crunchy ones?
Well, they don't make them in Puffs.
They don't make them in puffs.
The Flamin' Hot ones only come in
But
crunchy,
not
right?
the Flamin' Hot, the jalapeno specifically, which are fantastic. I wish they'd make them in Puffs.
Are we folding in Planters cheese balls into the puff?
Oh,
Yes, because it's a puffy Cheeto.
Absolutely. No.
Haley,
No.
you just
Messed up.
You just effed up.
You just messed up bad. If we're allowing cheese balls to be in the Puff land, it is Puffs all the way,
It's the
baby.
same exact thing as a puffy Cheeto.
It is
It's
Puffs
not,
all the way,
it's
baby.
not. It should be noted, and this is just because I watched way too much Food Network and whatever. The actual puff was created because where it dissolves on your tongue, it doesn't tell you that you're full. So every time you're eating a puff, you can eat more of them because it was genetically engineered.
What?
Yeah, it's
Come on.
It's designed.
Come on with the
hit
knowledge.
to not hit the part of your tongue that tells you you're actually eating something, which is why you can just have an entire thing of
Drop them with the knowledge.
Planters cheese balls in one sitting. Hypothetically, I've never done that. Obviously, of course I have.
I've stuffed 21 cheese
I've
balls
never
in
done
my
that.
mouth
Of course
before.
I have. Yes, I have.
You just thank you for
So-
talking over that.
That being said,
I have a video.
while
of it too.
I love me some crunchy Cheetos, by including the Planters cheese balls into the puff, you effed up, and I will be Team Puff.
Team Puff. Here we go.
No, get stuck in
So-
your teeth.
You're going crunchy, aren't you?
Actually, this got put to the internet too. I believe Cheetos itself seeks to settle the social debate, as I've seen in 2021. So this was put to itself. I will tell you,
This doesn't need to be a long
I
explanation,
am
Ryan. Just tell us where you are.
I am a flavorful kind of dude.
Oh no, he's
you know?
gonna use.
Oh, he's gonna
I
monologue.
gross
He's
words.
monologuing.
I enjoy light texture that is buttery in a sense when you bite into it. However, when I'm eating Cheetos, I don't want no damn puffs in my Cheetos. And I love some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Give me the Flamin' Hot Crunchy Cheetos all day long, ladies and gentlemen. Crunch all day. Nom, 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 nom.
They do make Planters cheese balls that are flaming hot. Just so we're clear.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris from Haley, Ryan, Josh, and myself. We love you guys to death. Thanks for watching. Go to the YouTube, rate, review, do all the things, and we're out.